Joined now by Cedric Maxwell, and boy, there's a lot to uncover here.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
First of all, you walked into our office and said, "Man, I'd like to be disrespected like
For $300 million?
$300 million. I'd like to be just." Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, I think the value has been placed on him. I think the team has invested a lot with him and who he is. I've heard the thing about being disrespected or not appreciated, but you know,
How much they paying him?
300-something million, and with the opportunity right now, you think of it, he played so well last year. He made All NBA. He has an opportunity right now to get an extension of $70 million a year. So, you know, like
What you just say? You disrespect me all you want for that much.
Money, 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 money. That's exactly what some of these groups used to sing about all the time.
$300 million.
Yep.
All right, but do you see his side of things, right? He's been rumored to be traded 4 years ago. Right? And now here his name comes up again. You lose Jaylen Brown. Here's the thing. I'm so glad the Giannis thing fell through.
I am.
I like Jaylen Brown. You know why I like him? Toughness. Okay?
Yeah.
I would say he is the toughest guy on the team.
Yeah, yeah.
And he brings that edge. He brings that chip on your shoulder. And they're a different team without him.
Well, see, one thing that he said, look, you've created a monster right now. When you think about me being and Jaylen Brown with a chip on his shoulder,
yeah,
that might even be better for you right now. He has been, and a lot of guys, but you have to realize this is about business. I remember Ray Allen was possibly shopped around several times. I was traded. A lot of guys have been traded over the years.
When you hear your name in trade talks, how does it affect you?
Well, right now, and it depends on what trade it is. If it's your first trade, it's shocking. But if it's your second and third trade, you really don't. You're used to it. You don't think about it anymore. But Jaylen Brown has been here. He's been homegrown. He's been a huge fan favorite. You know, you want to stay here.
What about the guy you've been rumored to be traded for? You're not just being traded for some, you know, ragtag guy. Giannis is one of the best in the business.
Well, and
so does that make you feel better, or is that just?
I remember many years ago when Tatum had an opportunity, and the Celtics were thinking about going down to New Orleans and said, well, they want Anthony Davis, and Tatum's name was mentioned in that. And I said something on the air, and I said, boy, I'd trade Tatum for that guy.
You said that.
And then Tatum's dad came at me and said, look, I had a problem right now with what you said about my son. And then he whispered to me after that, you know what? But I would have traded them too.
His dad said that?
Yeah, so
his own dad said that?
Yeah, so I think that if you look at it,
it's a business.
It's a business, and you have to understand that. You know who knows business better than anybody? Remember what what happened now at the Patriots? Patriots, that was all about business. Seymour, how many names did we see left there when you feel like you can make your team better? And that's the same thing that you can't take it personal if you are any of these guys.
Because you're human. And would they have made this team better for Giannis? I'm not so sure.
See, I'm not a big Giannis fan of one thing. He doesn't shoot the three right now. He does not defend as well as Brown. And then he's not a good free throw shooter. So there's some things about him that I wouldn't like. Now, I understand the power and him taking the ball to the hole. I think the Celtic fans will love that. But Jaylen Brown is one of the best two-way players right now in the game.
If they trade Jaylen now, how can the Celtics be better? Who in the heck are they going to get now?
That's why Brad gets the big bucks. And, you know, to go out and make these decisions about who they want and what can make this team better. I keep hearing names being bandied around, but, you know, I don't know how you make this team better without Jaylen Brown right now, especially the year that he had. You know, even with Jaylen Brown right now, he keeps going back and forth with Stephen A. Smith about arguing about something. But I'm always say this. If you're an elephant, you're not concerned about what an ant does. I mean, I like Stephen A. Smith, but you're Jaylen Brown. You're a big dog. You're the big dog here. So I don't concern myself with that. And sometimes I think he gets a little bit too concerned with what people say about him.
Right.
And start
you get caught up in that stuff.
Yeah, but you just can't in this business. You have to understand
for you to say, right? Because you didn't have to deal with all that.
Boy, I got traded. See, what are you talking about?
No, but I mean, social media wasn't big. Social media wasn't big back then.
It was not big at all, but I got traded for a broken down Bill Walton. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Bill Walton played here 1 year. I played 4 more years. I mean, they wanted
broken down Bill Walton.
Look, they won a championship with that team.
Yeah.
But still, you know, that was one of those things. I was homegrown. I was here. They wanted me out. I wanted to be traded. And then you have to look at Brown. You're saying right now, how do you repair that? One thing that Brad Stevens has really done well, and this is what I really appreciate.
That's why I believe in Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens had done this one thing in particular that
what's that?
The guys don't do. Has kept Jaylen Brown informed. Normally, you don't do that if you're a GM. You just go and make a trade for a guy. But at least he's talking to him. Right. He's getting his input, telling him what they might do. And that really sometimes makes the guy feel a lot better about these opportunities that the team might have.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. Why is Jaylen so pissed off then?
Again, I think that, you know, because you look at yourself as
10 seconds.
Well, you look at yourself one of the best players in the league and they try to trade you. And that's what does it. Rondo!